Okay, so we're going to talk about flying.
I realized in the third grade that I had an interest in aviation. In 1944, I volunteered for the cadet program. After about 2 years, they discharged us. I did not do any flying, but I went to college. The war was ending. After finishing Baylor, I married Anna and went back in the Army in January 1949. In Germany, I applied for flight training and was accepted. I went to San Marcos for the Air Force Flight School, and of interest here was the attrition rate. We started with over 100 students in my class and only finished 36. After San Marcos, I went to Fort Sill and finished and went through the Army training for aviation, and then went to Korea where I flew the bird dog. And I was
Observing for the artillery?
I was assigned to a long-time outfit, which I fired which we fired every day on the front, and also other Corps artillery weapons.
Okay. So after Korea,
After Korea, I went to West Point. I had toured at Fort Sill and also at Fort Rucker, but I ended up at West Point, flying the Twins for 4 years. Also, I flew the East 34 helicopter Choctaw. Of interest at West Point, I got an FAA civilian rating, airline transport rating. I had planned to fly with American Airlines after retirement from the Army. Anyway, I became a master Army aviator and had a special ticket.
and then we went to Alaska for flying.
Besides the special ticket gave me my own clearing authority, and I could take off 00 if the airport was not closed. Then we went to Fort Leavenworth and Fort Richardson, Alaska. In Alaska, I had a chopper company for a year, East 21 Kirkwood Chopper Company, which was interesting in that we kept losing engines. So
That was the Flying Banana, right?
yeah, but the engines were only rebuilt and they were just not very good. They were B-17 engines. So I started getting them from the Air Force, which worked out real good. In 1968, I retired from the Army. Flying with American Airlines didn't work out, so we came to Florida. And we bought into an aircraft, and later I flew with Robert some 20 to 25 hours. I cut the engine on Robert 2 or 3 times on each flight, and he picked out a field where we would put the airplane. We flew a Piper Cherokee, which was a real nice airplane. The only time there was any trouble was a landing airfield south of St. Augustine. A headwind all of a sudden became a tailwind, and I went on the controls with Robert, which was a dangerous situation. Anyway, Robert was a real fine pilot and did a real good job at his flying. Before I went to San Marcos, I went out to the local airport and flew his keys and for about 10 hours. He qualified me for solo flying. This greatly helped at San Marcos. I flew the last flight was with Anna when the Stetson line over the city of Waco.